Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 7 p.m. and time to begin our Planning Commission meeting for the month. First, we will have our invocation and then our flag salute. Would you all please join me standing? Our dear Heavenly Father, we come before you humbly this evening asking your blessings on this commission and these proceedings. Lord, we give thanks for the beautiful day that you have blessed upon us, and we thank you for your many blessings for this country, this state, city, and this nation. Lord, be with our men and women of the military as they protect our borders and stand guard 24 hours a day, Lord. We ask that you also be with all of our medical personnel and our fire and police, that they may continue to take care of us. We ask these things in thy name. Amen.
Amen. Dress flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Chairman Taylor.
Here.
Commissioner Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Hatley.
Here.
Commissioner Baker.
Here.
Item 1 is approval of the minutes of the February 8th, 2016 meeting. You all have had an opportunity to look these over. Do you have any corrections or additions?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes as written.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Is there any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baker.
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Chairman Taylor.
Yes. Item 2 is the visitor section. We're glad to see so many of you here tonight to participate in your local government. If there's anyone that would like to address the commission about a non-agenda item, something that's not on the agenda, you may step forward at this time, introduce yourself, and address the commission. Or they have something they want to say.
Yeah.
Seeing none, we will proceed. Item 3 is to hear a request by Stonegate Partners, LLC, for a final plat of a tract of land lying in the southeast quarter of Section 30, Township 12 North, Range 5 west of the Indian Meridian. And the address on this place is 1601 Health Center Parkway, containing 3.92 acres. Mr. Attorney, is that satisfactory?
That is good, thank you.
All right, yes. Yes, sir.
I'm Matt Miller. I'm here representing Stonegate Partners, LLC. Basically, what we're planning on doing, which we've already been through the PUD process, so I think you're somewhat familiar with what we're doing on this, but we're taking the parcel of land that's already zoned for office buildings, and what we want to do is build the common area, parking, landscaping, things of that nature, utilities, and then leave the remainder of the site for individual office buildings. So that's the reason for the design of the final plat on this.
We went through this at the last meeting with the preliminary plat. Do any of the commissioners have any questions for this gentleman? Didn't appear to be any changes. Staff is satisfied with the final plat?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
If there's no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do it.
In the case of the application for a final plat for Stonegate Office Park submitted by Stonegate Partners LLC on behalf of Overland Properties Group, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with staff findings, including all plans and attachments cited in the staff report. I move this final plat application before the City Council for approval.
Do we have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second on this item. Is there any discussion? Anybody in the audience, any questions? This is out behind the Target area in that business park. They're going to build a number of small offices for businesses out there. Looks like a real good plan. Seeing no questions, call the roll, please.
Chairman Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker.
Yes.
Item 4, to hear a request by Devon/Yukon LLC for a conditional use permit on the variance of a height regulation on the flagpole of Lot 1, Block 1, 5-Star Park, Section 1, as an addition to the City of Yukon, Canadian County. And this is 1777 West Vandament. This is the large flagpole that is in front of the storage buildings, rental places over there on Vandament. Do we have someone here on this?
No, Mr. Chairman, nobody was available to meet tonight, but if you have questions, I'll be able to answer them.
Basically, for the audience, that place was sold. They did have a variance on the height of the pole for that large flag, and it can be seen from I-40. And since the place was sold, the new owners are having to come back and ask for the conditional use permit once again. So it's just a renewal of that application. Do any commissioners have anything? Okay, I'd entertain a motion on this one.
I'll move. So move. In the case of the application for considerable use permit submitted by Devon Yukon LLC, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with the staff findings, including all attachments cited by the staff report. I move that this item be recommended for approval by the City Council with the following conditions. None.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any questions, comments? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Chairman Taylor.
Yes. Item 5, to hear a request by Allen Engineering Services, Inc., on behalf of Salazar Homes, Inc., for a preliminary plat on the south half of Block 6 in the Chase addition to the town of Yukon, Canadian County, according to the recorded plat, less than accept west 120 feet thereof, better known as 920 South First. Is there someone here on this? Yes, will you introduce yourself and give your address, please?
My name is Charles Allen. I'm with Allen Engineering, address 1601 Southwest 89th Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Thank you, sir.
This tract is about 0.61 acres. There's an existing house that we showed on our preliminary plat that is to be demolished. It's actually going to be, or has been, rebuilt. So we're going to need to probably vary the line just a little bit so we can provide the 10-foot separation between the new houses on either side, on the south side actually. Currently, we're showing the lot size is about 8,800 square feet, so we meet all that. The only thing we're lacking is the minimum width of 60 feet, so requiring a variance for that. So be happy to answer any questions.
Now, the one house, little long house, is that going to stay?
Yes.
Or is that one being torn down too?
Oh, the garage?
The one on the north.
On the north, no, that's being torn down. Or has that been?
One home is staying. That's
But the garage
existing.
in back.
Oh, the garage is demolished. Yeah.
It's already gone.
Yeah.
No, but the home, I know the two-story home, it was demolished.
Well, it's demolished, yeah.
Yeah,
The only is that one brick.
okay. And you intend to put how many homes on it, sir?
Well, the existing one plus two more. So
Two
there'd
more.
be 3 lots.
Okay.
You anticipate any of the frontages being less than 50 feet?
Well, now that we're saving that house, to provide 10 foot, we're probably looking at the south lot would be about 48 feet, I'm guessing. But roughly, yes, it'd be less than 50, so.
Mitch, also, it appears that the houses, that there's not 60-foot frontage on some of the other houses there. Is that correct?
That's correct. This is similar lots to currently what's down there. If you look to the left of your preliminary plat, it's very similar in size to the lots to the west.
To the west. Okay.
Yes, but these, if you look at the lot depths, are a lot deeper than normal, so,
Yeah, they have a nice, looks like it's going to be a nice lot.
yeah. They do have a utility easement to deal with back there that we'll have to watch, but
Any other questions? Commissioner Hatley? Commissioner Davis?
One comment we might want to make is on the existing house, originally when they submitted this, they was going to build three brand-new houses. That middle lot, they're going to leave that house now. He needs to go to the Board of Adjustments before he comes back for a final plat and get some kind of variance in that setback.
You understand that, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
But we can go ahead with the preliminary tonight.
Preliminary,
Okay.
with that comment, we'd like to add that comment to it, subject to approval of a variance in the setbacks.
So is that when it,
Well, is the
where it
draft?
says here on item 5,
Yeah.
that this information was not received by the staff? Subdivision regulations require a description of proposed improvements to be included with the submittal of the preliminary plat. Said description is to include information pertaining to grading, paving, tree plantings, walks, installation of utilities, as well as the timing of said improvements. Have we received that information?
Yeah, if you'll look at that, the grading is on this one now.
Okay.
As well as the utility easements. In that area, there's not a general sidewalk connectivity, and there's not a requirement for landscaping, so that's why you didn't show that.
Okay.
So are the two comments in the draft motion sufficient, or do you need another comment in the draft motion?
You can leave those comments in and make sure that city staff gets to review it completely. But if you do notice, it has been added to these drawings.
Yes.
But at the time the staff reports, it hadn't been completed.
Okay, someone care to read the draft motion on this? Unless there's other questions or comments.
You have a question? You good? Okay.
I don't think anybody from the public's here on this one, just, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yes, if someone's here would like to have a comment about this, please step forward. Why don't you step to the platform, please, and introduce yourself and give your address, please.
My name's Teresa Barrett, and we've lived in the house directly behind them since '91. I'm curious where this third house is, where these houses are gonna be placed, because there's not a lot of space there. They have a lot of trouble with the sewer. At least a couple times a year, they're out there, cleaning the sewage, and that's right where that is, right in the backyard. How's that gonna be handled? And I don't know where they're gonna place these houses without it being right up at our, against our fence and right at our property line.
You're talking, you live to the west,
Right directly behind the house. Yeah, 911 South Second.
2nd Street.
Right.
Okay. Mitchell, do you care to respond to this lady? I don't think the houses will be back on the fence. According to this, there's going to be,
The lots are 170 foot deep. What is the distance from the rear of the house to the back property line? I can't. That's what I was thinking, because it's the 30,
Can you
yes,
come and look at this? right
10.
here?
so about 60 feet from the back of the house before it gets to the fence.
60
Ma'am, there'll be around
From
60
the back of that
feet.
house that's there now? It'll be back 10 feet from the existing house? What about the sewage? Because that's where the sewer, the clean out is right back there. How will they get back there to clean that?
Mr. Chairman, we probably want him to come up to the stand to be able to speak so everybody can hear.
Okay. Is there that much?
All right, her question was about the sewer. Would you answer that for the folks at home, please?
Well, I'm not sure if I can answer, if that's a, city maintenance problem or what the actual problem is with the sewer line. I haven't been aware of any
See, they're
problems.
back here all the time working
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, all
And
the
if you
time.
put these houses in, they can't get to it anymore.
Well, I mean, there'd still be a.
Well, there'll be other cleanouts that the city would be able to use. I'm certainly not just that one.
Now they're gonna put a fence up.
Well, there's an existing fence, but
But we
They're
would
gonna-
like, if it's gonna be that close to our property, it would be nice, I mean, if you're gonna do it, that they could at least put a fence up
Mhm.
and maintain it, so we don't have to have 3 separate houses, and that's gonna be a lot of people. right in our
Fence
backyard all the
back here.
time.
Yeah, that's our fence. Okay.
Well,
It's nearly the
We're
same.
just gonna leave that one.
The back end anyway. There's 3 houses that butt along the back of that lot already.
yeah,
It's
that,
just gonna be the
Mr.
same.
Chairman?
ma'am,
That would work.
Yeah, we do that.
excuse me.
Would you? Yeah, okay. We'd be happy with that.
I'll take
Okay.
that.
We'll do that.
Mr. Chairman,
Keep them the noise.
we need to step back and one of you talk at a time.
Yeah,
Because-
and this is, there, like the gentleman said, there's 3 houses on that lot on the backside already. I don't see how this is gonna cause a problem. If there's a sewer problem, you need to call the city and let them, they've got a flush out truck and they can work on that. And we'll certainly, Mitchell and his staff will make sure that these houses are built according to the specifications that are in the Yukon code at this time.
Well, like I was just talking to this gentleman, he agreed to, he said he didn't mind if they just put a fence up, so we don't have that people right in our backyard all the time. And he don't mind doing that, he said.
Okay, fine.
Okay, that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
All right, great.
On the same topic, I'd like to speak, Russell Walls, first-time homebuyer,
Where do you live, sir?
909 Second Street South.
Okay.
Right behind them. I'm literally the house with the attached garage there. I closed on this house on the 11th. I just want to bring my concerns of, how that affects my property value. I'm looking to
Sir,
fix
could
up
I get your last name, please?
Walls, W-A-L-L-S.
All right, what are you concerned about? They're gonna build 2 other houses along there.
They're adding smaller lots and, just the quality of these houses. What are they going to do with them?
They're gonna sell them, I would suspect,
Right.
and not use them as rentals. You plan to sell them, correct?
So, okay,
They'd be brick homes, nice homes.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, sir.
Anyone else would like to talk about these 3 lots? Okay, now, draft motion from someone? Or is there other questions?
I've got a quick question.
Okay,
She raised a point in my mind about the sewer line. Like to ask Mitchell, is that sewer adequate to add 3 more houses there?
Yes, it should be of a quality size that is needed for sewer in that area. One of the things, I was not aware of any issues. We will contact the Public Works Director in the morning and find out.
Okay.
someone care to make a motion? Okay.
Can't be.
Go ahead.
Okay, great. In the case of the application for a preliminary plat for Salazar Homes, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with the staff recommendations cited in the staff report. We find ourselves in agreement with staff findings, including all attachments cited in the staff reports. I move that this item be recommended for approval to the City Council with the following conditions. Applicant shall revise block and lot numbers to Block 1, Lots 1, 2, and 3. Applicant shall provide a letter noting the proposed improvements such as grading, paving, tree planting, walks, and installation of utilities, as well as timing of said improvements.
And that they will need to go to the Board of Adjustments for a variance.
Yes, and that this be submitted to the Board of Adjustments for a variance.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Attorney, is that satisfactory? Okay, any other comments, questions? Call the roll, please.
Chairman Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley?
Yes.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Okay, before we start into these next 3 items, they all pertain to one subject, and the first item is a rezone. The next item is a preliminary, is a PUD request. I'm sorry, is a preliminary plat, and then, yeah, is the PUD, and then the last item is the preliminary plat. Now, I'm assuming that folks are here interested in this situation, and you'll have an opportunity to talk unless you have a spokesman to voice your concerns. And if the first item does not get passed, we will not hear the next two items because it all contingent on the first. And I believe Mitchell has an announcement on this, correct?
No, I do not. The applicant is here. Do you have an announcement and you want?
Yes, sir. Would you announce who you are, please?
My name is Bill Brown with Salazar Homes. Our attorney that represents us had a family emergency, so we'd like to postpone this till the April 11th meeting.
So you're requesting a postponement until the April meeting?
Yes, where we get represented by our attorney.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do we proceed, Mr. Attorney?
It's a request that you can make a motion to postpone it. It'll be up to the commission.
There are several people here that have concerns about this.
Mhm.
And then I noticed that there were a lot of things on the PUD that needed to be corrected.
Mhm.
I would recommend that you meet with these folks before the next meeting,
Okay,
or we're going to have the same thing.
okay.
Does any of the commissioners have something?
Yeah, since these people made the effort to come out tonight,
I think they should.
I think we should hear what they have to say tonight, because
I
some
do
of
too.
them aren't going to be able to make it next time.
I agree.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right, we will take some comments. There's nothing on the floor. We're not going to vote on anything because they have requested, and we're going to honor that request. But if some of you would like to address your concerns about this, we'll be glad to hear you, and then you won't have to come next meeting unless you want to. So does someone they'd like to address the council, the
Mr. Chairman,
commission?
before you start, would you go ahead, let's go ahead and read item 6.
Okay?
And get that in the record with the understanding that we're not going to take any action, but we'll at least get on the item, agenda item before the.
Item 6, to hear a request by Salazar Homes Incorporated to rezone from A agricultural to R3 multifamily residential district and to R3 PUD multifamily residential district, a part of the southwest quarter of Section 16, Township 12 North, Range 5 West of the Indian Meridian, Canadian County. And the address on this is 405 North Piedmont Road, Yukon, Oklahoma. We do have the complete legal on here, but I'm not going to read it all. Everybody know where we're talking about? Okay, now, since we've had a request to postpone this, we will hear some comments. Would someone like to step forward first? When you come forward to speak, if you'll tell your name and your address.
My name is James Choate. I live at 403 Oak Creek Drive.
Oak Creek Drive. That's to the east, correct?
Yes. Okay. I would like to know if there has been any engineering studies or anything like that on what will occur if they raise this to get the apartment complex up out of the flood area, what it will do upstream and downstream, because we already see flooding in that area, and I have neighbors whose homes currently get water in their garage, and now you're going to add an apartment complex there, which is going to cause more water runoff into that creek. The flooding got worse when the city allowed them to come in and build up the corner there by Main Street and Piedmont Road. And I'd like to know if there is an engineering study that can be produced on the impact it's going to have to the residents in that area.
It's a fair question. We'll make sure. I'm sure they've done some study, have they not, Mr. Ward?
All they did is a preliminary study. They've not submitted to FEMA.
So it has
it's all
to-
preliminary, so there's not an actual complete study of the floodplain at that location.
But there would have to be before it would ever receive final approval.
So are you talking about Turtle Creek
Yes.
flooding? Okay.
Yes.
Just to make sure we know what you're talking about.
Yes. And I have one question that I don't know if it can be answered here, but why is only a 300-foot radius of the project, why is that only considered for notification of anybody living within 300 foot of the project. Why is it not a bigger area?
It's our code.
It's actually state law.
State law.
State law is what we follow. It's 300 to the boundary of the property. It actually gets notice.
Okay, so that'd have to be a state law change then before it would be. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Ted Walker. I live at 305 Ellison for 48 years. And I have seen water in my neighbor's backyard numerous times. Anytime that you're going to dam water up for any reason, it's going to seek its lowest level. Well, Stephen Carmy and Crow live in the back, across the street from me. I've seen water in their backyard. And Piedmont Road closed. So, gentlemen, if you're going to put that many apartments, whatever, in that area, and it comes one of these Oklahoma rains, famous rain, where's that water going to go? It's going to come right up into my house. I don't want that. I bought because they told me that was in the floodplain, could never be nothing put there. Now, am I right or wrong? Is that a floodplain or not?
It is a floodplain.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, is your house in the floodplain?
No.
Okay.
Across the street.
Wait, just a minute. Let's keep it calm.
I got my answer.
That was a 2-block street. That faces the floodplain.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Alan Bratcher, 500 Oak Creek, right on the drainage ditch that comes out of that addition now. And we've had the city out numerous times to see what could be done. Their comment, nothing, because that's in a floodplain. My concern, if they allow this to be built, just like the gentleman stated, you know, you building it up out of the floodplain, where is that water going to then, you know? I mean, we've got a drainage 3 foot wide from that whole area there on that cul-de-sac. It's flooded my garage. It's come up to the fence in the back, you know, and I've talked to them 2 or 3 months ago when they came out, the engineers, you know, and they said there's nothing they could do, you know, and there wouldn't be nothing built out there because that's in a floodplain.
Is your property in a floodplain also? In the floodplain?
Yes, sir, it's right there at 500 Oak Creek, yes.
If it got sold, it would require flood insurance to someone else. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Bet. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Is there someone else besides the water thing?
Hey, Mr. Chairman, you need to make sure that you advise them that they need to come back to have an official record for the next meeting, that they're here as well.
Okay.
To be able, no, you want to be here to be able to stand and speak at, yes, but go ahead, and they're taking comments right now.
Okay, I'm Heather Bratcher. We actually reside at the 500 Oak Creek.
Okay.
And several times every spring, we're squeegeeing out the garage, hoping it doesn't come in. Well, it's come into the laundry area a couple times. Like I said, we get it from the neighborhood, and we also get it from the back. And if you build up, there's nowhere else for it to go. That's
Correct.
one of my concerns. Just another person talking about the water. But I also have a question about entrances. Will there be any entrances coming into the neighborhood from this?
From your side, from the Ranchwood Hill side?
From Ranchwood Hills.
It doesn't show any on the plat.
Okay, I just was curious. I prefer not to have any entrances that go into the neighborhood from if it's approved. Hopefully it's not. But, okay, I guess that's.
Ma'am, do you live right there where the road curves?
Yes, 500 Oak Creek Drive. If you're coming down Ranchwood, right.
Where it curves? Are you on the outside? You're on
Our-
you're next to where's the zoned agriculture now?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's the little ditch that goes
Right.
between us.
So you're right on the ditch and
Yes,
what's vacant right now.
Yeah.
So are you kind of at the lowest point?
Yes, we're at the lowest point. Our neighbor is built up a little bit higher, and we get the runoff from that whole section of the neighborhood.
I just had a picture right, I think I know right where you are.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we've got several pictures, if you need those, where it's flooded from both directions.
Sir?
And I'm Jeff Bratcher. I live with the residents also. I'm her husband. I spoke with Mr. Adams, Arnold Adams. He's came out numerous times. I've been dealing with this back when Mr. Crosby promised this and Mr. Bottom promised this.
Excuse me, sir,
Yeah.
can I get your name,
Jeff
please?
Bratcher,
And your address?
500 Oak Creek Drive. So I've spoken with also Robbie Gold as well, the engineer, numerous times. They were going to come up with a plan to divert the water. Never heard anything back, but that's nor here nor now. Devaluation of our property as well, these apartments. We've got enough devaluation as it is in this city.
For the whole neighborhood.
But the water, they come out and they dug a ditch from the drainage ditch all the way to the creek. It's not maintained. I mean, it's just
It's filled back. It's grown over now.
so there's not really helping, it just kind of appease me, I feel. And I believe, I feel if they build this up, more water. I mean, I've got pictures where it's deteriorating the inside of my garage, the ceilings from the moisture, the hot water tank rusted out. I mean, I had to invest in a squeegee. That was my life, that and sandbags. So put yourself in our shoes.
Yeah.
For once.
We have sandbags
You know.
and rocks that
And-
cover our driveway.
And I'm continuing to fight that. I'm going to continue to speak with Mr. Crosby, whoever I need to speak with, because, I mean, the house is just falling. It's crumbling.
Yeah.
Backside too.
So, I mean,
All right. Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Someone else other than, we understand that it's in the floodplain. This commission is very clear about that. Yes. Who are we talking to now?
I'm Robin Reinhardt, 700 North Piedmont Road, which is
Okay.
going to be directly across the street to the west of it.
To the west of it,
Is where
okay.
we live, right across the street. And my concern is, they build this up. We see the field to the north, to the north of it, that's the soccer field.
Mm-hmm.
We've watched numerous rescues on Piedmont Road, even after they put the barricades up, shut the road down. The barricade is put up on ash. So you're going to have how many people in this apartment complex that they're wanting to build up, trying to get past that, and how many rescues have we seen? And you build that up, they don't keep that up. That's mowed maybe twice a year. Those drainage ditches are full. We watch trees, we watch branches, everything else. Where's the entrance to this apartment complex going to go? Right in front of my house. So those cars leaving my house at all hours of the night, you're going to have headlights shining directly into my house.
There will be no traffic signals. Wagner Road, there's probably
Can I get your name,
a
please?
minimum of
Your name,
one.
sir.
Your name, sir?
Okay.
My name is David McDonald. I live at 700 North Piedmont Road,
Okay, thank
directly
you.
across the street.
Yes.
Wagner Road has no less than one wreck a week. There's no stop signals there. There's a stop sign.
Stop
That's it.
signs.
There used to be a flashing light. After a pole got knocked down, it never got put back up. You put another intersection right there, there's gonna be more wrecks. I've been hit twice in my own front of my house, because people come over that hill, it's 45 miles an hour. You put traffic out there like that, it's gonna even be even more. I own 3 acres. The reason I bought my place there was because I knew there would be nothing else built around me.
So you own the land to the north?
I live straight west, across the street.
I know, but you said you had 3 acres.
Our total land is
Our
3
total
acres.
land.
Oh,
3
behind you
acres.
too?
Yeah, we
Okay.
have a total of 3 acres that's
Okay.
directly across.
And
the
that's
I know
gonna-
exactly
that's
where
gonna-
you're at now.
That's gonna devalue my property considerably if they go put apartments in directly across the street from me.
Okay. Appreciate your
You know, and
comments.
again, the concern is even us living there for 13 years, is when it's flooded and they've barricaded it off, in order for us to even get out of our driveway, which we are up, we are not considered, I think maybe,
Well, FEMA's twice has tried to make me buy insurance, but I've had to prove to them that I'm not in the flood zone.
So
I'm
we're
up
up
high
high
enough.
enough, but there's been times we've had to park our car down on Ash and have to walk down there because you can't drive down there.
Correct.
So how are they gonna fix the whole part of the flooding? When I've sat there and watched and I've videoed fire departments come out and rescue people because they're gonna drive down that way anyway. When you watch these timbers and these logs and the cones from the soccer field floating across the street, you know, they raise it up, you're talking more flooding in that whole area. You know, the gentleman that's in between that property where he keeps his horses, that already floods severely just because of how high some of that is on
Correct.
each side of that.
Okay. Those are all fair questions, and they will be addressed before this is all finished.
And if you need any information, I've got a map right here.
Well, you can
Well,
bring it back the next time
Okay.
when we meet. Yes, sir. Okay.
Thanks.
My name is Steve Cardle. I live at 302 Ellison, and I back up to Turtle Creek.
Okay.
We've been there for 31 years, and like the gentleman just said, one of the reasons we purchased that house is because of the floodplain back there. We were told you could never build back there. I have approached the city before in the preliminary stages of maybe trying to purchase some of the ground between myself and the creek, the little strip there, to extend my yard and stuff, and was told I couldn't do anything with it if I could buy it because I can't raise it up, I can't do anything, I can't bring dirt in, I can't change the level, I can't do anything with it. They want to come in, raise all of that surface area on the west side of that property. Looking at the maps, basically what they're going to build is a dam halfway across that property, which is going to cause that all start backing up. And I want that to be noted. Also, all this paper that I'm reading from, I'll make it short, I got from my wife got from the Oklahoma Water Resources Board. Mr. Hort has a copy, which was supposed to have been faxed to him, as well as Anna Wagner of the city. So I will be back because I want to make sure I get points in on the record. But
Very good.
my main thing was about basically building a dam across there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Cheryl Peebles. I live at 123 North Frenchwood. My concern is a little bit about the traffic coming down my street. There are youngsters that live up and down that street, so therefore it's going to be a little more dangerous for them.
Are you talking about in Ranchwood Hills?
Yes.
There would be no access to these from Ranchwood Hills.
I'm sorry?
The plat shows no access into Ranchwood Hills.
Therefore, they're going to have to come down Ranchwood Street to get to Ranchwood School or anything else in
Okay.
there.
Fair enough, yes.
Okay.
If they didn't ride the school bus or something.
Right.
And-
Okay, now, my other concern is that the Ranchwood School itself back there is at capacity right now. It cannot afford, if that's the right word I need to use, any more growth in Ranchwood School. I am a school employee, and I do not see, and I have worked at Ranchwood School, so I do not see that there's any room for growth in Ranchwood School. That's only the little kids up to third grade. We're still talking about growth in the other fourth and fifth, all the other schools. So I don't see that we can afford that. My other concern is that this neighborhood already has 3 apartment complexes that we, quote, support, because they're in there 3-6 months maybe, and then they're gone again. And that makes a big turnover for our school systems. And that's my concerns.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anything different anybody would like to say?
I would. My name is Sherry White, and I live at 304 Ellison, and my lot backs up to Turtle Creek also. My question is, these aren't income-based apartments, are they? No. Okay. And About what is going to be the
Mr.
average?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
we can't get into that tonight. We're just getting comments from you.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate, yes, sir.
My name is Dwight Langstrat, and I live at 305 North Piedmont Road. I wonder if you're aware of the building of a new mall on the north side of 10th, or south side of 10th Street.
South side of 10th on Cornwell.
You do realize that water was going to come down from there, down through there.
That's Oklahoma City. We had no say-so in that.
But you have a control over over this here project here.
Well, and I don't know, we didn't even get a chance to hear it or discuss it among this committee. You may be preaching to the choir up here. I don't know, because we haven't had a chance to vote on anything.
I understand that.
Okay.
But I'm bringing it to your attention.
All right, thank you.
That there's going to be that much more water coming down through there. That water, since that batch plant went in up there, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, and they have revamped the floodplain 3 times since I have lived there in the last 40 years. The water level today is increased 3.5 inches from whatever was before. And they said it wouldn't, at that time, the engineer said, oh no, it won't increase at all. Remember that?
I do.
But it has. It has got into my pump house, and it never got in there before in 40 years. And we've had a lot bigger rains 20 years ago than we ever had the last 5. Until such time as you all get around to it, cleaning that ditch out back there behind that substation where it narrows down. It's about half as wide right there as it is any other place. And you've let it grow up all the way back down to the river. That ditch has been cleaned out twice since I have lived there, all the way to the river, all the way from Main Street to the river. And now it's all grown back up again except on my property. I've kept mine cleaned out. But until such time this thing is taken care of, there should be no building going on whatsoever.
Okay.
That's what I got to say.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, do you have something?
I think most of it's already been addressed, but I'm Rebecca Hicks, 406 Annawood Drive. The only thing is I did know that Yukon had a current apartment code, obviously state, and this meets that. Am I hearing this right?
We have no hearing on it yet, so we haven't even had an opportunity to ask questions of the staff. So it's to be determined. Sir? Do you know anything about that, Mitchell?
The notices were sent out because that's in the statutory 300 foot that we sent out. So that's how they got the notices.
Okay.
So Yukon doesn't have a current apartment code.
We do have a density for apartments per acre, if that's what you're asking, and this does fit into that.
It does fit into that.
Yes, but
Okay.
we got to be cautious here. All we're doing right now is taking comments. We'd like for you to come back to the next meeting where you can actually interact with the developers and their attorney and their engineer, because a lot of these questions could be answered by them possibly.
Okay. And I also, by hearsay, did hear that Mark would be open into north of Ranchwood. So.
That's not on their submittal, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Taylor, Bob Bradway, 521 Mark Avenue, Yukon. I live on Mark, and when it rains real hard, I have an easement that runs behind my property.
Correct.
It floods my backyard. They just can't hold the water. Mr. Beecher and the rest of the folks, this has been a 20-year deal. I tried to help them when I was on the council and struck out. Didn't have any luck at all. It's just an ongoing, infuriating problem. One of the things I'd like to ask is, when was the last time apartments were approved to be built in Yukon?
Not
I bet it's been better than 30 years.
at least.
And it just hadn't worked out for us as a town at all. We're getting ready to be blessed with how many apartments courtesy of Oklahoma City. They're going to come here, put them into our school district, whatever else benefit we're going to get from having to take care of that. And I think we can't do anything about that because that's Oklahoma City. But we can do something about it if they're building in Yukon itself.
Correct.
So that's something to give an ultimate consideration to about what we're going to have to deal with apartments. We don't know how many, how much, what the impact's going to be because it's Oklahoma City doing it. We have no control, absolutely none. I think a situation like this, we're just going to compound our own problem. But anyway, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Mr. Bradway.
Thanks, sir.
Folks, the ones of you that have, yes, sir? This will be the last one tonight.
I'm Norman Blackley. I live at 501 Mark Avenue. I've lived there for 52 years. And fortunately, I have had that house from beginning. They were smart enough to raise it up off the ground high enough that I don't have a problem with the runoff. I'm blessed by that. But what I'm here to say is that the way that the thing is set up is that I am concerned about the traffic, mainly on Ranchwood, and the possibility of a breakdown to the point where they go ahead and have Mark Avenue as a user to this facility that they're trying to build. And so therefore, I want to assure you that I do not approve of them going ahead and having access directly to Ranchwood Hills. Ranchwood Hills started out, there was a small group of individuals that were living in that area, and that's a long time. And I would like to see that, I will tell you this much, I think it's operating well in terms of traffic. We've had very little problems over in that community, and I'd like to have with it, I would not want to have access from any other piece to the west of us, because I think that it would go ahead and create extra way of people getting out of Dodge by a different route. So that's I want you to understand. I've been through your situation where you're sitting behind that desk, and I really do. I feel that there's a bad move with that particular proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We appreciate all the public comments and your concerns. We would invite you back if you spoke tonight or you didn't speak tonight, but I would suggest that for the sake of, if this ever goes forward to the council, that you get a spokesperson to represent all of you and be able to voice your concerns, just for brevity type. But next time at the next meeting, if each one of you that spoke would like to get up and speak again, we'll certainly listen to you, and hopefully that their attorney will be here and we'll be able to conduct some business as to whether this committee forwards this or not.
And be sure to come, though, with your spokesperson.
The next meeting, April 11th. Wait a minute now. Wait. You got to come to the mic if you want to say anything. Okay.
One other thing. I really think it would be an advantage for you to have the plat sitting up where the audience would be able to go ahead and view and understand what's going to take place.
Fair enough.
That would be good for you, and I think it would be good for those that are attending.
We'll make
right?
sure staff has one up for you.
Okay.
Could you state your name again, please? You got his name? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Did you ever say your name?
Yes, Rebecca Hicks, 406 Anaway.
Okay.
How will we be notified at the next meeting?
It is April the 11th.
April the 11th.
It's on a Monday night, the second Monday night of the month,
Okay, thank you.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Is there another statute if they don't show up again on April 11th? On April 11th, we should keep people's phone in there?
It's their money, I guess. They can't get anything done until it's heard on this body, and then we forward it forward to the council. But they still have to go through FEMA to be able to get approval for that. So,
Mr. Chairman, do we need to read the or, I guess?
I'm sorry.
Should we read the or here? It says we're going to continue this.
Should we have a motion and a second on that? Okay.
Okay, I'll read it.
Okay.
I think in the draft motion, there is an option here that was put in, right?
Yes.
Mitch? Okay.
Well, make it for items 6, 7, and 8, all three.
Okay. I can do that.
Okay.
Sure. I'll read it. In the case of the application for rezoning submitted by Grubbs Council LLC on behalf of Salazar Homes Incorporated. Let me get the others here. And for the planned unit development for the same, and also with request by Salazar Homes for a preliminary plat on the same. Is that good enough, Mr. Attorney? Okay. Based on the continuation of the rezoning applications for this property, due to the opposition noted by surrounding residents at this public hearing, and the need for the applicant to meet with representatives of the opposing neighborhood, and due to the number of corrections to be made to the PUD document, and given the additional information requested by the city engineer, I move that this item be continued to the next meeting on April 11th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Chairman Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley?
Yes.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
We thank all of you for being here tonight, and hope to see you at the next meeting. I'm sure we will. Is there any new if y'all, wait just one moment, please.
We still got to finish the meeting.
I still got to do this. Is there any new business?
Mr. Chairman, there's no new business.
How about open discussion? Any of the commissioners have anything? Mr. Attorney or City Planner?
The kids are out on spring break, so be careful driving.
Then this meeting is adjourned until April 11th.